time. Let's go. It's time to get to the theater early, YouTube. Getting there at 3 o'clock for a 7 o'clock showing. I know that sounds crazy to y'all. Perfect logic to me. Stay locked, stay tuned. Pray that I get there safe. The review's coming up tonight. Star Wars, baby. Force Awakens. Alright, YouTube. I think we are literally 5 minutes away. Day 0. It's about to be on. We're gonna geek. This is gonna be an amazing experience. Got Joe Johnson to your left over here, eating whatever he's eating. Just geeking out. So we've got a whole team here. We're gonna have a great time. Stay tuned for the non-spoiler review later on tonight. All right, y'all keep it locked. JVS, we out. Later. You're beautiful. Be back soon. My gosh. Y'all are in for some interesting comments tonight on my non-spoiler review, because that was amazing. Stay tuned. Wow. Lost for thoughts, y'all. Wow. I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all never see it like this again. It takes deep expression for me to go into this non-spoiler review in such a way that never seen it like this before. So, let's get it started right now. What's going out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320.
It's your boy Joe. Oh, my bad. It's your boy Joe Johnson 030 here representing.
I'm representing JVS. This is a non-spoiler review.
Of course.
For Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Hands down, probably one of the most well-anticipated films this year. I haven't seen anything quite like it, to be quite honest with you.
Never.
I wanted to make sure I took this really seriously and letting you know that it was freaking awesome, man! What? What? It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Yeah. The blend and the meshing of practical effects and practical prop design, locations. I mean, I felt like there was points when they were in Abu Dhabi. I felt like there was points when they were freaking in Iceland. I felt like there were points where I was watching a character such as Poe, that's a random new character, do some of the most heroic and harrowing acts in a three-dimensional sense, because we looked at it in 3D, and I sat there and I watched this and I was like, this is Star Wars. Yes, man! Y'all already seen 7 seconds of us looking at the end of the film.
Yeah. And
I mean, I was, for a lack of words, we literally at the end of the film just sat there, just like this. Like, we weren't anticipating anything after the movie. We just were just like, I gotta cop a squat. That's how we felt, y'all. Like, it was so amazing. I guess we'll just try to do it as best we can. As far as the visual effects and the score, what do we think about it? What are your first impressions, your first rich impressions? Not anything too long, but just what did you feel as far as the visual scope and the cinematics for this one?
Definitely. It was just amazing. It was amazing. I have to give it a 10. 10 on 10 on visual effects. I give it a 10 on of course, the score. Yeah, definitely.
Well, the thing was, the score, like, throughout the prequels, they seemed the same. This was a brand new score. Like when you see the character Rey,
it's definitely original.
It was up there. Like she had her own kind of like score. Like they added a different form of horns as well as a pitch to some of the tone, and I was like, this feels like something that was old and transferred to new, and it was so authentically done that I really enjoyed the score so much. But I mean, we can't go into any spoilers, of course, but I'm gonna say this: the end lightsaber battle was as gratifying as you hoped. I've heard a lot of people, they talked about the movie up and down, but nobody's really talked about the fight sequence. And I mean, there's a lot of different sequences that happen. There's a lot of action. But the final fight sequence, the way it was choreographed, the way that it was shot, it was everything that I could have really asked for. Gosh, was there anything like that pulled out something from you in your inner childhood as far as the visual effects or the practical effects in this one?
I mean, they were really great. Really great on all levels. The action scenes, I'm not gonna talk about anything that happens, but the action scenes, you know, you would think, okay, I would expect this movie to be better than, or not, I would expect them to take it to another level or try to outdo themselves what they've done in the past. And you don't know going into the movie how they're gonna do that. I think they, on an action-wise scale, I think they achieved that of outdoing themselves, and even from like different sequences, different like even from the start of the movie, like it just sucks you in. It's like, wow, we're going in for this ride. This is really happening.
Because it starts you off so different.
Yeah,
like it takes you with characters you don't know, with a setting and a place you don't know, and you're like, what is going on? And that's one of the most gratifying things about it, because this feels like it could stand on its own, even though they merge in all this history, this rich history. So definitely 10 out of 10 as far as the visual effects, practical effects, cinematography was beautiful. There were aerial shots. We looked at it in regular 3D tonight. We're gonna look at it in IMAX 3D tomorrow. But the aerial shots, y'all, in regular 3D, some of the best that I've seen in a regular 3D movie ever. And I was like, there's this one sequence where the character Poe, he takes off in his like flight sequence, and like you see the sun in the backdrop. Oh, it's so beautiful. Anyway, sorry, I'm geeking. I apologize. The acting. What do we think about the acting in this one? What are your thoughts as far as acting?
Yeah, man. I just got one word. Boyega.
Yes!
Boyega, man.
Yes!
I mean, the cast is just amazing. Like,
yes!
all these actors in this cast have amazing features.
Oh my gosh, dude.
But my dude Boyega, though.
But it's...
I mean, we talk about this in the car. It reminds me of young Denzel.
He really has that charisma, integrity, and it's like it's something special about every single sequence. Like there's some points where he does stuff, you know what I'm saying, that could come off like, you know, like, what? What are you doing? Why'd you react like that? But it's so authentic in the way that he does it that that's poised for great acting, because it makes you believe that he's really reacting like this, just not from a script. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all script driven, but the way that they're acting, all the characters are acting, it's like this is actually their thoughts. It's actually the character dynamics. But I have to give it up to Daisy Ridley as well.
Yeah, definitely.
The girl that plays Rey. This girl ain't never acted in a movie before. This is her first movie.
She has a great feature.
She killed it.
Feature. Yeah.
She killed it. I was like, what?
Yeah, she has a great feature as an actress. I'm sorry. Like both of them, oh my gosh! Like
they got great chemistry too, though.
They really did.
Like they didn't force it. It wasn't like, you know, like this kind of like romantic kind of dress with them. It was like the circumstances called for them to work together, and they thrived in that on an acting level and like on just their dynamics together. It was so cool. Even BB-8. The little dude, I was like, this is the most functional droid that I've ever seen. Like, when you see him rolling around.
It was really functional. Like, his design, because, I mean, it's very practical. He's just like a ball. He's got the head, like, the head of R2-D2 on a ball. And it's just like, it gets around pretty quick. You know what I'm saying?
That thing was going.
It's a simple design, but it's like, yo, like, why didn't they think of this before? Like, this is just, it's just like,
it's perfect.
It's perfect, yeah.
There was a sequence with VII, right, when they were on Jakku, and Finn and Rey were running as fast as they could, and the little dude was keeping up with them. You see explosions in the background. It was so beautiful to watch because the explosions are real explosions, and it's not like a whole bunch of graded out CG crap. Like, this is like authentically made, but it was like their expressions as they're moving, their expressions as they're going through the dynamics of the history, such as people with like Han Solo, Chewbacca. Like, when they meet and intersect with these other characters, they're like, man, y'all are legendary. Like, their authenticness, and they're thinking about who these characters are. Even like Oscar Isaac, that's gonna be eventually our Apocalypse, did an amazing job as Poe. Like, the dude was like some of them. he was cool. He was just cool. I guess he's got swag. He's got Han Solo swag on top of charm, because like when you see him like in his sequences, and he's not in a lot, but he lights it up every single time when he's in it. But we got to talk about the original cast, like seeing them back. How did they do? I feel like they gave Leia more meat in this one than they've done in the other ones, and Carrie Fisher does a great job with it. But Han Solo, though, dude, like he was Han Solo. He wasn't Harrison Ford trying to be him. I guess that's the best way I can kind of put it. What did you think about the older characters out of everybody?
I mean, it was classic, man. Just like, you had this classic feel, and it kind of like blended in perfect with like this next generation.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just flawless. It was just really flawless.
Yeah.
It's seamless. Like, even how how Leia and Solo, how they interact with each other. Like, you can tell there's real history there.
Yeah,
like, that's real history.
That's so real.
And they carried themselves like so much grace. It was just good.
Yeah.
When they interacted with one another. And you know, Solo, you know, he's up to his, you know what I'm saying, he's got his ways, and you definitely see him, you know what I'm saying, in his element.
Harrison Ford was getting around there. I seen him running and cutting it in, and I was like, but him and Chewie are so hilarious though. Like, yeah.
I mean, it seemed like the cast it seemed like everyone enjoyed themselves making this movie.
Absolutely.
And I think that comes out like when you're viewing this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and you enjoy it because you're watching it. It was like, hey, like they're enjoying it too. I mean, everybody was on their P's and Q's. Set designers, costume designers, the actors, actresses, the director. I mean, this movie on all fronts was just a great movie. Even in like a lot of the details.
Absolutely.
So I mean, even the freaking even their like their musicians like playing the score. I mean, it's just, you know, it's everybody was just like just in harmony and make this movie. It's just like, where am I? What am I watching right now? This is just, you know, just greatness on screen, man. And yeah, they just they had a really good team, man. They did a good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you guys did a good. I hope you guys are watching this. Like, the entire production team, you guys did a great job.
Yeah, there's a lot that we got to talk about. But we're not coming out with the spoiler review until Saturday. As you've noticed, we didn't talk about Skywalker, and we didn't talk about Kylo Ren. All I can say about Kylo Ren is that Adam Driver, as this villain, is one of the most focused, dysfunctional, methodical villains that I've seen in quite a while, because it's like everything that Kylo Ren is trying to do is for a specific reason. But there's still so much confliction there. I can't say but so much.
Yeah,
but Adam Driver, he nails it. He nails it with the expressions. He nails it with this menacing kind of factor, and even like the way that they use the Force in this. Like, the sound design was so peaking, because there are moments where you see somebody using the Force and there's not anything going on as far as elemental, but you see through the performances that when you hear the noise, you know when the Force is being used, but you know it's different. And everything, the way that Kylo Ren uses the Force, it's just so warped and different. And I love that about it. It wasn't like he was trying to copy anything. It was almost like he's trying to emulate something. And I love that factor about it. And I thought he did a great job. Kylo Ren is definitely one of the better villains that they've done, like ever. But the story. What do we think about the story? I'm not going to go into it. All I can say is that it was fulfilling. It was compelling. When you really find out what's going on between Rey, Finn, Poe, Kylo Ren, you're going to realize by the end of the movie, you still don't know nothing. Like, there's so much meat that you get left off at the end of the movie. If you're not careful, you might be upset. But if you realize that this is the building blocks of an amazing franchise, it doesn't have to just bring stuff to tie it into something else, but leaves you with a real cliffhanger. And that's what I loved about this, because the pacing is awesome. I mean, it doesn't even start off with the characters that we know. It starts off with the new characters in their element. And even with Finn, as you've seen in the trailers, like, you see him running all over the place. There's so much more going on with his character. There's so much more that you don't even realize what's going on with Rey. And like, the way that they treat their characters and the way they all tie into not just the Force, but connections to what's going to happen next, is beautiful. It's beautiful symmetry. And I mean, I don't want to ruin anything. All I can say is that I love the way that they're doing these characters. I love that they're paying attention to the certain subtle details. And there's a lot of nostalgic films to it. Like, I mean, when you have, I think there was a moment on the Millennium Falcon where you see two specific things on a table. One that Finn finds. It was so awesome to actually watch that. And I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it was beautiful nostalgia. As well as, you don't know everything about Kylo Ren that you think you do. And even by the end of the movie, I still don't know. And I love that about it.
Yeah, you still won't know.
And yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. You got anything to say about the story before we give this a rating?
The story.
Without spoiling anything. I'm not going to say anything, honestly. I'm going to wait till the spoiler review and talk about it.
The thing about the story is, kind of like you mentioned, it's like we're just scraping the iceberg of what, cause like the time between where we left off, what's the last one, like the one that came Return of the Jedi. Like, the time got between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, so much has happened between then. And it's like, we still don't know exactly all the details of what happened between then. Mm-hmm. So the story is actually really good, and there's a lot of mystery still. Even after watching the movie, you're like, what really happened?
Exactly.
What happened?
And that's
not in a bad way, but it's like,
it's a good feeling.
Yeah,
because that's what the movie's supposed to be. It's not supposed to tell you anything. It's not supposed to be connected to all these. Because that's all these multi-franchises. They try to tie things so much that you forget about the original trilogy. That's one of the things they loved about Empire Strikes Back. They had no idea where it was going next, and that's what this movie does. I'm not gonna give it a ranking as far as like from episode 1 to 6. But I will say this is definitely one of the best Star Wars movies to date. And I give it a 10 out of 10. What about you?
I give it a 10. I have to give it a 10, man.
And we haven't even watched it in IMAX. So we're going to have a lot more that we're going to talk about in our spoiler review. So stay tuned for that. Come Saturday. Thanks everybody for watching. And keep it locked. JVS, we out.
Yeah, for sure.
Woo!
Blessed out there.
Gosh, that movie was ballin' status, boy.